Hello friends, I'm Rosa, welcome to the channel. So today we're talking about 5-star predictions for 2023. So some of these books I have already talked about in my 23 books for 2023. I forgot what year we're in for a second, even though I just said it. It doesn't make any sense, but it happened. Let's not dwell on it. But I'm also talking about a couple of books that I did not mention in that video because I really just, first of all, it's good to have a big selection of books that you can read throughout the year, but also sitting down looking at my shelves, I realized that I have a lot of books that I keep pushing off reading because I think they're gonna be so good that I kind of want to save them for a time where I've not, like, if I've read several books in a row that I wasn't really vibing with, if you get what I mean. So I've taken a couple of those off of my shelves. We're going to talk about them today. I'm going to read them throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to get back to you guys and actually tell you what I've rated them. So that's the purpose of this video, so that I can use it again in the future for reference. And so I have 15 books I'm going to talk about today. They are all going to be linked in the description box down below if you want to check any of them out. There will be links to both Book Depository but also Amazon. I have all 15, however 2 of them have not arrived yet, so just want to point that out, but I do have all 15. Only 13 of them physically with me right now though. But enough talk. Let's talk some more. Let's continue talking. Let's get started. The very first book that I want to talk about is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor, which is the sequel to Strange the Dreamer, which I did rate 5 stars after reading, so I have full faith that this will be hopefully just as good? Question mark? Like, I don't know. You never know with sequels. It's kind of like a dangerous area. But at least in the first one, I can't really tell you guys what the sequel is about. Oh, I've already tapped this a little bit. That's nice. I'm gonna start over though. But in the first one, in Strange the Dreamer, we follow 2 characters, Laszlo Strange and Sarai. Her name is Sarai. Okay. Laszlo is the dreamer, as you can probably tell from the title, Strange the Dreamer. He has a bit of an obsession with this place called Weep. The thing about Weep is that one day everyone woke up and forgot the name of the city. The name of the city isn't actually Weep. It's just what they call it. I suppose you could call it its new name, but it's not actually its name. But he has an obsession with this place. He really wants to go one day. In fact, it'll be like his biggest goal, like his biggest dream ever is to go to Weep. He's so obsessed with the place that he's even learned the language that they speak in Weep. So like he really wants to go. And so one day, a guy from Weep actually comes to the library where Strange lives and works. Or not specifically the library, but the city that the library is placed in. Because he's gathering a group to take back to Weep because something is happening in Weep. Something that's not good for the inhabitants of Weep. And so somehow Laszlo kind of like manages to charm his way into getting into this group so he gets to go. Finally he gets to go to Weep. But things are strange in Weep. People are dreaming and having nightmares. There is something haunting Weep, and Laszlo keeps dreaming of this blue girl with very vivid red hair. And so that is Strange the Dreamer. Very poetic, very lyrical, very flowy, very vibey, and also extremely beautiful. So I'm really hoping that Muse of Nightmares will be something like it, but we will see once I get to it. I managed to read the first 68 pages apparently when I started this, and then I put it away. That's not a bad thing, by the way. I put it away because I just didn't have time that month to read it, so I already know that I kind of like what's going on. It's a bit slow though, but we will see once we get into the really good stuff. Next up, we have Nona the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I still don't know how to pronounce their last name. But this is the 3rd book in the Locked Tomb series, so this comes after Gideon the Ninth and also Harold the Ninth that I loved, both of them. So strange, like so weird books, but they're so good. And this one I feel is gonna take a little bit of a different kind of approach to the story that is happening in these books, because that's the way it's been with the other 2. So the thing about this series is that I can tell you guys what Gideon the Ninth is about, but it doesn't really give you an idea of what goes on after Gideon. In fact, it doesn't really give you an idea of what is going on in Gideon the Ninth. Like, it's kind of weird, but essentially, just to try anyway. We follow Gideon, who is an orphan living on planet 9. So we have 9 planets that each house their own house. House 9th is on planet 9. I don't actually remember if they specifically call it planet 9, but that's what I call it. We have house 8 on planet 8. You get the picture. And then we also have another place where the Forever King lives and works. The Forever King has these like super necromancers. Oh yeah, there are necromancers controlling bones and skeletons in these books. But he has these like super hyped up, supercharged necromancers working for him. They're called lictors. However, something is happening in this universe and the Forever King is asking the different planets if they could send, or he's like, not could, but more like requesting ordering each planet to send a couple to planet 1 so that they can train to become a lictor. So when I say a couple, I mean a necromancer. They could have a various like set of skills and they have to be accompanied by what they call a cavalier, which is basically a bodyguard. The thing about Gideon is that she's not really been feeling very welcome on planet 9 and she kind of wants to just flee somewhere else, but she's tried many times and she's never succeeded. She's always been stopped one way or another. She's always been brought back, but she really wants to get away from the 9th house. And so enters Harrow, who is a necromancer who is in need of a bodyguard to bring with her to the first house so that she can go through these trials and become a lictor. Her own bodyguard that's been trained to be her bodyguard throughout his life sucks. Like, he's so bad. So she's like, I don't want you, I'm gonna find someone else. And she approaches Gideon and gives her an ultimatum. Or not necessarily an ultimatum, but more like a choice, an offer, a peace offering, which basically goes like, if you come with me to the first planet, I'm gonna actually let you leave once we come back. All you gotta do is help me through these trials and I will let you go. So obviously Gideon sees this as an opportunity and hops on board and they take off to the first house. Is it even the first house? I can't remember, there's so many names. Oh wait, it doesn't say in this one. Does it? No, I don't think so. I might have some of the details wrong, but anyway, the story's still the same. And when they get there to this planet to train, go through the trials to make Harrow a lictor, it turns out that things are very strange and things are not as they seem and there's a lot going on. Gideon just does not know it for the vast majority of the first book. Just want to say, give it a shot. Just give the first one a chance if you've been considering it. And if you're confused about all the hype, continue to read until you get to 198. Okay, I got you. That felt like a very long summary of the book. I needed to tell you guys. It is what it is. Moving on to the third one, which is Lore Olympus Volume 2 by Rachel Smythe, or Smythe, I can't tell. I got this very recently. I haven't even shown it in a book haul yet. I will later this week though. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. So this is a webtoon that has been now published as physical books, as you can probably tell. Captain Obvious strikes again. And they are a retelling. It's a graphic novel, first of all, if you want to see the style. Looks like this, super cute, very vibrant, but it's a retelling of Hades and Persephone. So we follow Persephone mainly, who has only just recently been introduced to the world of the gods. Like, she's finally been brought into the life of like city life, urban life, partying and having a good time and all of that. And she's just feeling very insecure in all of this because that's not what she's used to. She's out of her comfort zone, but she's been introduced to all of this. And as you probably know from the actual story, something happens and she finds Hades and stuff. I don't know what I want to say. I just really loved the first one. Like, I gave it 5 stars because it was so cute and every time I picked it up, I started smiling. This is not like happy vibes all the time. I just want to say, like, some of the content is a little bit heavy, but I was just so happy reading it. It made me really content and I felt really good reading it. I don't know. I just really enjoyed the first volume. So I ordered this basically the day that I finished the first one, and I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna love this one too. I'm already considering getting volume 3, I'm not gonna lie. I want to dwell on it a little bit, but I'm telling you guys, this has to be a 5-star. Like, I'm feeling it. I just got a good feeling about this. Okay, yeah. I have another graphic novel, which is Fangs by Sarah Anderson. I've been wanting this for like 2 years and I finally got it. Haven't hauled this one either, but it'll show up in a video later this week. But if you want to see the style, this is what it looks like. In short, This is a very cute short graphic novel about a vampire and a werewolf who start dating and the difficult situations that arise from this sort of relationship. I read a little bit of it, but I wanted to save it for later in the year, probably around fall, because it's about vampires and werewolves, so I feel like it's just fitting for that time of year, but so far so good though. Very cute. I'm so happy I have it. Then we got a cozy fantasy, which is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. This is the Broken Binding edition, in case you wanted to know. And this is about an orc who has gotten tired of killing people with her axe. So she has decided to open a coffee shop. But running a coffee shop is not necessarily super easy, especially not when you have made a lot of enemies in your past. So she also hires some help. And so I guess this is about the two of them working together on the coffee shop, but also the different difficult situations that they end up in because she has made so many enemies in the past. And I've heard so insanely many good things about this. This is kind of like one of those where I'm a little bit scared that people have been exaggerating and it might not be as good. Like, it's not going to live up to the potential or the expectations that I've set for it now that I've read so many very overly positive reviews on it. So we'll see, but I have high hopes and that's dangerous is my point. So hopefully I'm gonna love it. I feel like I am, but we'll see. One that I'm actually gonna read in February is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, which is young adult fantasy, historical fiction, and romance. So we follow a couple. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but make it 1920s Shanghai and then with ex-partners. I don't want to say ex-lovers because that sounds so, I don't like that term. Am I the only one who doesn't like the term lovers? Like, enemies to lovers is fine, but like, if you start talking about people as lovers, I'm like, ooh, no. Ex-boyfriend and girlfriend? I don't like the sound of that either. Anyway, let's just go with it. It's fine. From rivaling families, and then think, did I say 1920 Shanghai? I think I did. But also think a virus that may or may not turn people into what I think is zombies, but I could be wrong about that. I don't know, we'll see. I just have a good feeling about this. You know, I just have a good feeling, so that's where I'm gonna leave that. But it's gonna be a February read for me, which is very fitting because I don't know, there's something about this cover that I don't know what it is, but it feels like a February book. I literally cannot justify that in any way whatsoever, but it feels like a February book. Oh, this one I've been pushing off for forever, but I talked about this in the 23 books that I'm ready to read in 2023. I loved the first book so much, gave it 4.5, and that's the first one in a duology, so they're always a little bit slower. But then again, sequels, they're dangerous. However, Defend the Dawn by Bridget Kimmerer. I loved Defy the Night so much. Is this the first time I've actually nailed the titles of both of the books in one go? Anyway, round of applause for me. Trust me, I mess that up all the time. I keep calling it Defy the Dawn. I don't know what it is. Anyway, but I am so hyped for this. I need to like calm myself down before I read it because otherwise I'm pretty sure that my expectations are going to be too high and I'm going to end up disappointed. And I really need to not be disappointed from this because I really loved Defy the Night. So in Defy the Night though, it's a Robin Hood retelling, so we follow two rebels who steal this flower from the rich people who hoard the flower. The thing is that the flower is used to cure or at least hold the sickness at bay, so the sickness is sweeping throughout the country and it's claiming a lot of lives. People are falling ill left and right and they're just done with the rich people hoarding this flower and taking too much of it for themselves. So they steal from them, take the flower and give it to the poor people. Things are going well for them, unfortunately though. One day something happens. Our guy rebel ends up in some trouble. And our girl rebel is shocked by this and then decides on a whim essentially to infiltrate the castle because that's where the rich people are and that's where the politics are taking place. But she decides to infiltrate it I don't know what her goal was. Honestly, I don't know. But what she finds out once she actually does the infiltrating is super shocking to her and turns her world upside down. And that's what it's about. It's YA fantasy romance. Is there any magic in it? I don't think so, now that I think about it. Anyway, I love the first one. I thought it was so good. The Robin Hood retelling part, yes, so great. I'm so nervous about the sequel. You better not let me down, but we'll see. So it's a bit random that I chose to include this. on the list instead of the other trilogy that I need to get through before I get to this one. But I'm kind of hoping I can read Chain of Gold, yes, in this during this year. I am planning on getting through, sorry, my Shadowhunter shelf is right there, which is why I'm looking at it. We're looking this way, but I am planning on getting through Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy first, and then Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and also Queen of Air and Darkness before I start The Last Hours. I just have a feeling that I'm gonna like this trilogy more than The Dark Artifices, which is why I'm holding up this book instead of Lady Midnight. I don't know. Well, I do know. Okay, I lied. I do know why, and that's because I have read The Infernal Devices and I loved them. Which one is it? Clockwork Prince, straight up 5 stars. The characters, I love them. They're my babies. And I know, okay, I know. So I just need to not get through The Dark Artifices first, but like I just need to not get them out of the way because I'm still gonna enjoy them, but I just have a feeling that I'm gonna enjoy this trilogy more simply for the reason that the characters and the family ties, they all have family ties, but this is like closer to The Infernal Devices. Can I tell you what this is about? No, I can't, because I don't read the synopses when it comes to Shadowhunter books. I just go into them blind. So I don't know, which is so awkward. Actually, I kind of like it. I like that for me. I want to stick to it. It's YA fantasy, but it's like, well, I suppose historical fiction as well. Historical fantasy? Yes, and it takes place in our world, so do with that what you will. Oh, but I can tell you what Shadowhunters are though. They are humans, but not humans because they have angel blood in them, who protect the actual humans, the mundane, from the creatures of the night. So like vampires and fae and whatever else, demons especially. Like they have a kill on sight thing with well, they don't, but anyway. They protect us from the evil, essentially. I think that means we're halfway through. So next up, I'm definitely gonna be reading We Were Villains by Emil Rio in 2023, and I have a good feeling that this is gonna be a 5-star. This is an adult mystery and everyone seems to love it, and I was supposed to have read it in October, but my copy arrived a little bit late, so I never got to it. But in this book, we follow a student who's just been released from prison because of something that happened like 10 years ago, I think. Yes, 10 years ago. And on the day that he is released from prison, he is approached by the detective who was on this case, this murder case. Someone died. That's why this dude is in prison, as far as I've understood. And this detective really wants to know what actually happened 10 years ago. And so we go back in time, and Oliver, I think his name is telling us his story. I think his name is Oliver. Now I need to know. Oliver. He was a part of a theater group back in the day, and someone ended up dead. And the other students along with Oliver kind of found themselves in the middle of like this whole situation with someone dead, one of the students dead, and also found themselves in this like spot where they really had to put their acting skills to the test. And so We Were Villains, but this is going to be a later 2023 read because it's very dark academia, murder mystery as well, and I'm just feeling like it's not really like a read for right now, if you get what I mean, but I'm definitely going to read it this year because I really wanted to last year and my book just did not arrive in time. This is going to be one of my spring reads and I'm very excited. Circe by Madeline Miller, which is a retelling of, well, it's, I would say it's a retelling, but I don't know exactly like what, it's about Circe, who's the first witch in Greek mythology. I've completely forgotten what this book is about, but actually I'm okay with that. Other than it's like about Circe kind of finding her place and the fact that she's kind of like, she doesn't belong to the gods, but she doesn't belong to the humans either because she's neither. I think she's a daughter of the Titans or something. Yeah, she's the daughter of the god of the sun, so Helios. But the gods don't think that she belongs with them, so she's sent off to the humans where she finds her place and starts practicing magic, and it's basically about that. And I really liked The Song of Achilles, also by Madeline Miller, so I'm having high hopes for this one, also because I love the idea of like Circe and reading about her learning, you know, different magic and stuff. So, but I'm very excited to read about Circe finding her place in the world and being a woman on her own and it being okay, or at least her, like, I don't know how to phrase that, so I'm moving on. Okay. Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I gave 5 stars to The Love Hypothesis, so you better not let me down, but we'll see. Ali Hazelwood also has another book coming out this year, which is called Love Theoretically. I really want to read this one before I get to that one, but I'm definitely gonna buy it. It's for sure a pre-order for me. In this one though, we follow two rivals who end up at NASA for an internship or something. Oh, it doesn't actually say. Let me read this out loud. Levi is the epitome of the sexy guy TM. But I don't even acknowledge the existence of this category. It's preposterous. The idea that there are men you can't help yourself from being attracted to. Men who give you the tingles. Men you can't stop thinking about. Men who pop up in your brain like flashes of light. Okay, it's not an internship, but they're both working at NASA and they're working on a project together. They used to be rivals back in the school days, or when she was like studying for her stuff. Studying for her very smart science stuff. Yes, that thing. And now they've ended up working on a project together, but Levi is not coming off as mean as he used to, and he's kind of backing her on things, and she's very confused. Just so that's what Love on the Brain is about, seemingly, and I'm very excited to read it. I hope this will be cute. I just want cute from it. Also because, like, pink edges. It just has to be cute. Otherwise, why would you give it pink edges? You know? Don't lead me astray. So, we got 4 more books to go through. Next up is Jade City by Fonda Lee, which I have been holding off on reading for so long. I really need to get to it. And I have a feeling that it's gonna be so good. I'm just very nervous that I'm not gonna get it. Like, as in, like, not understand it. Not understand that it's good, but like not understand what's going on. It's a genuine fear sometimes going into books. Like, I'm sure I'm not alone in this, okay? But this is about crime families fighting over jade, which has a magical component to it. And that is basically what it is. I don't want to know more than that. I've just heard that families, like, they're so well written in this, but also that the place that this takes place in is so well described as well. Like, you almost feel like it's an actual place in real life. And I have very high hopes for this, but I also feel like it's actually gonna deliver. So we'll see. You can tell that I have high hopes for this because I already bought the sequel, which is a dangerous thing to do, but I did it anyway. Am I a daredevil? No, not really. Anyway. Actually, I did the same for this one, which is Red Rising by Piers Brown. I actually both have the, what's it called? Golden Sun, but also Morning Star. So I better like this one. This is adult sci-fi, as far as I know. Oh, I forgot to say. Fantasy, thriller, mystery. I don't know more than that. So I'm gonna find that out for you when I've read it. I promise. So what I know about Red Rising is that we follow Darrow, who is one of the Reds in this world. The Reds are basically slaves that are working on preparing the surface of Mars for future generations. However, what they don't know as they're working is that Mars is already ready. And so Darrow, when he finds out, I don't know if I should call it infiltrates, but like he goes to be a part of a competition of some kind, or like a tournament of some kind, and there's a part of the book that is about that. Am I doing well? Wait, one of my pin banners fell down. Oh, awkward. Anyway, so yeah, that's why, that's all I know, because people have been telling me that there's certain things about Hunger Games that also are in this one. They've also been telling me that it's insanely good. And so I'm very much looking forward to going into this in 2023. But I don't really want to know more about it than just that, because I want to go in half blind. I like to do that with certain books. This is one of them. And so that leaves us with the 2 books that I don't have in my library right now, but I do have pre-ordered. The first one is A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon, which takes place in the same world as Priory of the Orange Tree. It has dragons and magic in it, and I loved Priory of the Orange Tree, but the climax was over with way too quickly. However, the world was insanely beautiful, like so stunningly built. The pacing was like so pleasant throughout the book as well. I just needed the climax to be a little bit longer and not wrapped up in 10 pages, and it would have been a full-on 5 stars. So I'm hoping that things are a little bit different for A Day of Fallen Night. But I'm so looking forward to delving into that world again, because it's so rich in history, and I can't wait to see what Samantha Shannon has to share with us this time. If it's anything like Priory, like written-wise, I'm gonna love it. It's, yeah. This you can probably tell, high hopes. But I can't really tell you what it's about because I've actually not read the synopsis. I think it might have been about one of the stories that is told or like hinted at or just like vaguely mentioned in Priory, but it's about the same world, but some years prior to Priory of the Orange Tree. So we get to see a different generation of the royal family as well, or just the royals, or the royal. I don't know how many there are gonna be. And a new set of characters and more dragons, and I'm super excited because I love dragons and badass female characters. It's a good combo. You can't go wrong with it. So, and the last book, which I'm also planning on reading in February, and I'm very excited because I got an ARC of it and I was screaming when I got the ARC. I literally made my day. The book is The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty. It's adult fantasy. I should have said that about A Day of Fallen Night, but it's also adult fantasy. High fantasy, I would call it. So this book is about Amina, who is a pirate who has gone through a lot of things in her life, and she has conquered a lot of things, and she has been on a lot of quests and seen a lot of forbidden artifacts, and you know, all that stuff. Piracy stuff, because she is a pirate. She has also become a mom. Amina, though, really wants to be not just remembered for these things, she wants to be a legend. But she's also getting to a point where she's also ready to settle down and just be with her family. However, one day she is approached by someone, it's like a former crewmate's mom or something like that, and she's offering her a lot of money to go on a quest to rescue her daughter. I don't remember the exact connection there, but she has to go rescue this girl. And so as a last chance, her last effort, her last chance of becoming a legend, she goes off on this seemingly impossible quest to rescue this girl. But as they leave on this adventure, this new adventure, it turns out, or the further into it they get, it turns out that there might be a little bit more to this mission than was first explained to her, and there might also be a little bit more to this girl's disappearance than she first was told. And I'm excited because I've found that I have a good track record with pirate books for some reason. I don't know. I like it. I hate water. Okay, that's a harsh thing to say. I hate open water. Like, I don't know what it is. It freaks me out. But I have a very good track record with pirate books, so I have high hopes for this one. I'm gonna start it in February. I'm very excited. I'll let you guys know what I thought, of course, when we get to March. Unless I vlog during that week. We'll see. I'll have to figure that out if it's possible. Maybe I will. Anyway, so that's my last one of my 5-star predictions for 2023. I'll get back to you at the end of the year to see which ones I actually ended up giving 5 stars. I think this could be fun. That's why I wanted to do it, even though I already did the 23 books for 2023. But it's not all of those books that I think are actually going to be 5 stars. So these ones, though, I'm very confident will actually be full-on 5 stars. Okay, very confident is a very... I'm fairly confident that they're gonna be 5 stars. Anyway, so it's gonna be fun to see what I actually think of them once I've read them throughout the year. But if you've read any of the books, let me know what you thought of them. Whether it's good or bad, do let me know. If there are any books that you're planning on reading throughout 2023 that you are confident is going to be a 5-star read, definitely also let me know. But that's all I got for you guys today. So again, if you want to check out any of the books, they are linked in the description box down below. But that is all I got for you guys today. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this from me, but also readathons and TBR videos and wrap-ups and bookish unboxings and all the other booktube stuff, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button. I'm gonna leave you to it now though. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, you know.